1999, Joseph Winko was charged with aggravated assault, assault with a weapon, and possession of a weapon for purposes dangerous to society. This was after he attacked pedestrians with a knife, and at the trial he pleaded not criminally responsible with the defense of mental disorder. The defense of mental illness is used in many high-profile cases, including the case of Vince Lee versus the Supreme Court of Manitoba. This was the case where Vince, a paranoid schizophrenic, decapitated a man on a Greyhound bus and then proceeded to eat various body parts until the police were able to apprehend him.
Mental disorder is based on the assumptions that we should punish those who knowingly do wrong. According to this, punishing someone like the mentally ill, who is unable to decipher what is right or wrong, would be unfair. This defense is used when the accused can prove that they are mentally ill or their criminal actions is a result of his or her mental illness which caused them to commit the crime, and this is where they are lacking the mens rea required to make someone criminally responsible. Thus, this would call for the ruling of not being criminally responsible, which leads to one of the three sentencing options. They are discharged absolutely, discharged subject to conditions, or detained to custody in a hospital.
A past offense committed while the NCR accused suffered from a mental illness is not, at least by itself, evidence that the accused continues to pose a significant risk to the safety of the public. However, the fact that the accused committed a criminal act in the past may be considered, together with other circumstances, if it is deemed relevant to identifying a pattern of behavior.
In the case of Joseph Winkles, the accused was found not criminally responsible, or NCR, meaning he was not responsible for an act made while suffering from a mental disorder, rendering the person incapable of appreciating the nature and the quality of the act or knowing that he was wrong. He was institutionalized at the Forensic Psychiatric Institute, and in 1995, the Institute Review Board directed Winkles to be given a conditional discharge. Winkles appealed the ruling, asking instead for an absolute discharge.
Held criminally responsible, I still do not feel that they should be immersed into society with the rest of us right away. They should not be held in jail, but they should also not be immersed into society. When the decision of not criminally responsible on the basis of mental illness is given, the individual should receive the proper medical attention that will help them properly manage their illness. And the only way to do this is through maintaining custody of the individual and giving them the attention and care that they need. Any other options for those who are considered not criminally responsible are not beneficial for either the individual or society. Being let out on a conditional discharge, with one of the conditions being that the individual seeks proper medical attention for their specific illness, is one of other options. However, the ability to gauge the process is overly difficult, and in addition, there is no guarantee that they will be able to finance the necessities of life and treatment for their disease. Furthermore, the sentence would endanger the rest of the population, as the actions of those who are mentally ill may not be predictable. The fact of the matter is that an individual may have another mental breakdown at any time, and thus they may commit another crime. The goal of sentencing is to denounce, deter, secure the society, and to rehabilitate the individual. It is impossible to achieve the majority of these goals through any sentence other than maintaining custody in a facility where the individual can rehabilitate as well as maintain the security of the public. Based on the case of Winko versus British Columbia, it is clear that the sentence of conditional discharge would not achieve most of the goals of sentencing. Because his actions were against the general public and very random, the risk of him recommitting is high. In addition, the treatment of Joseph Winko would be less effective and less monitored than if he was detained at a mental institute where he could be treated and monitored at all times. Thus, the sentence of maintaining custody is the optimal sentence for both the accused as well as the rest of the population.
The programs that we'll be suggesting are relevant to those who are sentenced to be detained in a hospital. These programs will begin with the individual remaining under the custody of the hospital or facility with medical professionals. Slowly they will participate in more and more community activities and learn how to manage their disorders. For example, one program may consist of an individual being kept at a hospital for a month, where learning skills that are necessary for survival in their society. After doing this, under the supervision of a medical professional or a close friend that is willing and able to support them, they can slowly participate in volunteering and other community functions. Eventually, the facility will aim to find a co-op placement that suits the interests and skills of the individual. After 3 months of custody, if the individual is ready, they are able to almost fully reintegrate, participating in schools or in the workforce while still living at the facility. When the individual is able to self-sustain, they will be able to move to a location within a close proximity of the facility, and they would be able to check in.
This means that the defense is fair and just, as not just anyone can claim to be insane. Concrete evidence of a mental disorder must be presented by the defense, and only then can the defense be deemed viable. In the case of Winkle versus British Columbia, Mr. Winkle had a long history of mental illness and hospitalization, and had also been diagnosed with chronic residual schizophrenia, thus legitimizing his claim of mental disorder. Only can we see benefits in retaining Winkle over the other sentencing options. We can also see that we are able to achieve the greatest number of sentencing goals possible through detaining those who are not criminally responsible on the basis of mental illness. Especially for violent crimes that harm the general public, it is vital that custody is maintained until the individual is ready to be integrated into society.